guys, Liam here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon WTF Moments. And just quickly say hello to Ruby. She's our lovely 9-week-old Border Collie puppy. She's a lovely addition to the family. Super soft, super cuddly, and just show her some love. She's on my Instagram. She's on Sophie's Instagram. Show her loads of love. If you're a fan of WTF Moments and you're ready for more, make sure you hit that like button. Of course, hit the subscribe button if you're new so you never miss an episode. And share this video with a friend. But with all the hoo-ha's out the way, and also because I'm getting really warm holding this dog and I really want to I was going to say put her down. I mean put her down on the floor somewhere safe, not put her down as in like, you know what I mean? Anyway, here's all the WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 33, the Flame Pokémon-athon, which is an episode title I really don't like. According to the narrator, we're starting this episode in the Safari Zone, and we'll skip over Ash not knowing what a Tauros was, and cut him some slack anyway. Tauros are fairly uncommon in Gen 1. But let's take a moment to appreciate how Dexter explains that Tauros whip themselves to make their tackle attack so powerful. Why is that so important, you ask? Because it means I get to say the proper term for whipping oneself. Self-flagellation, which, you know, flagellation's just a fantastic word to say. Pikachu's apparently asleep on the job, so therefore won't be able to fight the Tauros, but Misty then points out that against, say, what, 30, 40 Tauros, Pikachu is pretty outnumbered. So Ash decides to even the odds by sending out Charmander. Just Charmander. So 30 to 40 versus 2. Yeah, that'll do it. A Growlithe randomly falls from the sky. Christ, it's like one of my girlfriend's dreams. Wait, I should clarify that. What I mean is, she probably dreams about random cute animals appearing out of nowhere, not dogs falling from great heights. I mean, that'd just be a nightmare. Upon realizing that Growlithe is indeed a fire type, much like Charmander, Ash actually goes to make an informed switch and returns Charmander to its Pokeball ready to send out Squirtle. Jesus Christ, he's learning.
Well, what do you expect, Liam? He's learning as he goes. He started as a beginner 32 episodes ago. He's bound to have learned something.
Yeah, but don't forget, this is Ash Ketchum we're talking about. Quick note for all equine enthusiasts, or horse people, as us common folk would call you. If you see a group of people standing in a field, even if they might be trespassing, don't ride your horse all the way up to them and have it rear up on its hind legs right in front of their faces. To people who don't know how to control a horse, that shit is really scary. I get that the whole point is she was supposed to be intimidating Ash so that he stops fighting a Growlithe, but she could have easily just trotted up on that Ponyta to him and shouted, "Hold it!" like she did, without making it look like she was trying to trample him. Oh my god, that girl's riding a horse. That means she has to talk like she's from the south of the United States. I know I just merged like a million terrible impressions of what would normally be quite lovely accents together, but you get my point. Why has this girl got to sound like a generic Wild West character just because she rides a horse? Brock then copies this woman's southern drawl, and I don't get how he thinks that that's going to get him any closer to her. I mean, I understand that he's clearly trying to create some kind of sense of familiarity, like if he mimics this girl's accent and she hears someone with an accent that's like hers, she might feel more comfortable. But is Brock really willing to pretend he's from Texas or Georgia or wherever the hell this accent's meant to be from for the rest of his life if he ends up with this girl? Then again, it is Brock, so who knows. Oof, and I just realized I probably offended a lot of you Americans watching by not knowing the exact state that girl's accent is meant to be from. But if it makes you feel better, be thankful for the accents that you guys have across the pond. Because go and watch a video all about the different accents in the UK. We have so many of them, and all of them are fucking horrible. Direct quote from this bird.
Have you ever heard of the Big P Pokemon Ranch?
I'm sorry, the what? Big P Pokemon Ranch? Big P? Big P? Big P? I'm just saying, what an unfortunate name. But wait, if this is the Big P Pokemon Ranch, then it's not the Safari Zone like the narrator said it was. God, you just can't trust anybody nowadays, can you? After Dexter explains that Ponyta's mane is made of intense flames, Misty asks Lara, the girl riding Ponyta,
"Isn't it real hot?"
which roughly translates to, "Fucking hell, love, how's your gash not melting like?" Apparently, Ponyta's flame won't burn anybody that it really trusts. Got that tied up in a neat little bow, haven't you?
Well, actually, Liam, Ponyta's flame not harming someone it trusts isn't exclusive to the anime. It's also a thing in the games.
Well, actually, I think you'll find that this particular phenomenon wasn't mentioned in the in-game Pokedex until Pokemon Shield in 2019. So do one. Ash Ketchum, being the cornucopia of cognitive competence that he is, upon hearing that Ponyta won't burn anyone it really trusts, decides that this Ponyta he literally just met will definitely trust him if he just reaches out his hand to pet it and says, "Nice Ponyta," before he pets it. And of course, gets his hand burnt to a crisp. Speaking of burnt to a crisp, I am actually melting. I tried to record this without my aircon on, and sorry, but Barney is reporting for duty. He's going to be loud. He's going to be noisy. Deal with it, please, because it's just bloody warm. Direct quote from Brock.
You're lucky if you get a big P Pokemon.
I mean, you have a Pokemon that looks like a massive P. Does that count? Lara is heading to a massive party at the ranch and invites Ash, Misty, and Brock to come along as her guests. Imagine having so few friends that you invite 3 complete strangers who technically just tried to steal some of your family's livestock to your party. Lara mentions a big Pokemon race happening tomorrow and explains,
"We race each other to find out who's got the best Pokemon."
fastest Pokemon. Am I being too picky there? Nah. Direct quote from Ash when a herd of Dodrio run past.
Oh man, they move fast.
They do, about 40 miles per hour to be exact, but let's not forget that the in-game Pokedex says that its pre-evolution Doduo can run faster at a maximum of 60 miles per hour, even though its base speed stat is lower.
Well, actually...
No, look, you've said too much today. We're 4 minutes into a 19-minute episode of Pokemon. We've relied on you way too much already.
You're assuming the speed stat is based on how fast a Pokemon can travel rather than simply a measure of its agility.
Do you feel better now? Hi, I'm Liam Edwards, also known as Ace Trainer Liam. I'm a 31-year-old man and I publish videos online of myself having conversations with myself dressed as a generic scientist. Don't let anybody tell you you can't be whatever you want to be. All you need to know about Dario is that he's a prick, and his name sounds like Daria. Is that a battered fried Magikarp? Nah, it couldn't be. Let's just pretend it's made of chocolate. Regardless, Ash Ketchum eating this thing with not bare hands but fingerless gloves on and no sign of a napkin in sight is really triggering me. It's just mucky. This might be my favorite moment of the entire episode. Dario or whatever his name is tells Lara that her Tauros are going crazy back at the ranch. So Lara shouts, "Let's go!" and we get this epic anime transition scene of her leaping onto her already galloping Ponyta, and then the moment Ponyta's hooves hit the ground, it's just gently trotting at the same pace as Ash, Misty, and Brock. I know it picks up speed moments later, but watching this sequence shot for shot is just so underwhelming. Oh no, Dario did a sinister smirk. Thank God he did, or I wouldn't know who the bad guy is. So Lara arrives at the ranch to see her Tauros going crazy, and her reaction is, "Hey, what? Dude, Dario literally just told you moments earlier that your Tauros were going crazy. So why are you now surprised to find your Tauros going crazy? Listen to people." Lara sends out her Growlithe, who instantly calms down all of the raging Tauros. And you're telling me that nobody else on the ranch could have possibly done that? Like, let's be real, Lara as a character doesn't even look like she's particularly that old. So are you telling me that she really is the only person on the ranch with the know-how and training to be able to calm down those Tauros? I'm not buying it. From out of nowhere, something spooks Lara's Ponyta and it throws Lara off, and she hits the ground hard. And I'm sure it's times like this where you wish horses came with seatbelts. Ash tries to calm Ponyta by tugging on its reins and going, "Settle down, Ponyta!" Lara sees this and says he's good, as if he was some kind of spectacular pro horse tamer. Mate, I could have done that. Just kidding. I'd have been like, "You're on your own, love." Oh look, Dario's in cahoots with Team Rocket, and the whole thing was a setup to eliminate Lara from the race tomorrow. And to think I called him a bad guy. Causing injury to someone in order to win a race? He's not a bad guy at all. He's an arsehole. Lara can't compete in the race tomorrow because of her injuries and decides that Ash should race in her place, even though she knows that Ponyta will burn anyone that tries to ride it unless it really trusts them, and it's only known Ash Ketchum for less than a day. Growlithe's face says it all. I'm with you, dude. Girl's crazy. Speaking of crazy, I know it's a little bit crazy, but code ACE has been boosted to 30% off G Fuel once again. It will go back down to 10% after the 17th of August, so get this deal while you can. 30% off G Fuel with code ACE. I'm drinking KSI Strawberry Banana, which with milk makes a beautiful strawberry and banana milkshake. It is wonderful. Go get it. 30% off, mate. Code ACE is all you need. Let's have a little slurp. 30% off till the 17th. Do it, mate. Code ACE. Ponyta just looks at Ash like,
"Touch me and I shall fucking ruin you. I shall burn you to such a complete and utter crisp that there will barely be enough ashes left to fill your pathetic partner Pikachu's nutsack. Heed these words as they shall be the last you hear, lest you try and reach out to touch my goddamn glorious mane. Also, piss off."
Ponyta instantly burns Ash and Lara yells at it. Yeah, That'll help. How the hell is Ash holding on to that flame? Like, it's a flame, so how is he holding on to what is effectively just ignited gas, or at best plasma, which even then, holding on to it like that is a bit of a stretch. The sizing on these Pokemon isn't actually that bad, so I'm not going to spend time meticulously going through and making sure that their sizes are in line with their heights in the Pokedex and whatnot, but let's just for the sake of argument assume that Nidorino's height does not include its ears. Dario is Canadian. Pass it on. I get this is just for comic relief, but come on, Squirtle, what are you thinking, mate? You obviously know you don't have a chance to outrun a Ponyta, a Dodrio, or even a Raticate, so why are you even bothering, mate? Especially with Pikachu on your back as well. Direct quote from Lara.
You can beat him, Ash.
Oh, can he? Because right now he's behind Misty, Starmie, and Squirtle. How slow are all these Pokemon? Maybe I was wrong about Squirtle. Tauros legit gets shot during the race. I know it was just from a slingshot, but still, jeez. This trainer's Nidorino got hit so hard by Tauros it became Nidorina. I give all the credit in the world to this kid riding Electrode, even just for trying. The sheer unshakable balance and leg strength required to pull this off is incredible, and he should get a prize just for the effort alone that he's gone to. Sure, he's about to get dunked into a hole dug by Team Rocket, but my god, what an inspiration. Let's also take a moment to appreciate that Ash and Ponyta are still behind Brock and Onyx and Misty and Starmie. Slow and steady really does win the race, eh? After that one kid's Electrode explodes, battering Ponyta, Sandslash and Raticate and their trainers respectively, Pikachu turns up and uses Thundershock on Ash and Ponyta and revives them both. Now this working on Ash I understand because defibrillators have been used to resuscitate humans for many years. It's effective, it's proven to work, but Ponyta, that's a Pokemon, mate. Thundershock should have taken off whatever was left of that poor thing's HP. Go on then, cry about me using game logic to contradict the anime for satirical purposes. I dare ya. Just another comment for the algorithm. Upon reaching a section of the course where a river needs to be crossed using stepping stones, this Rhyhorn plummets to the bottom of the river, presumably to die, given the reaction from Onyx over here. My problem here is if this is a race with such prestige, why isn't there a weight limit? Like, surely when people register for this race, someone should be there to go, I see you're using a Rhyhorn. That's 115 kilograms before the rider's even climbed on. You can't compete in this race, you're too heavy for the river section. I'm just saying, this Rhyhorn died due to the Big P Ranch's terrible organization. Hashtag justice for Rhyhorn. Starmie and Squirtle surf across the river, even though the announcer explicitly said that the Pokemon had to jump from stone to cross the river. They're not using the stones. Disqualify them. Disqualify them now. The next section of the race is essentially a pit stop, with each Pokemon having to consume an entire bowl of food before continuing the race. First off, that's really cruel. Have you ever tried to run a race immediately after eating? The stitch you get from that's absolute bloody torture. Secondly, the three heads of Dario's Dodrio all fight over which one gets to eat first, but surely if Dario is from round this area and knows about this race so bad that he wants to win it, surely he knows what the race entails and knows about this section, and therefore should have trained his Dodrio to eat one head at a time in a particular order in order to not make this kind of situation happen, right? It's just poor preparation. I don't know what to tell you, mate. Okay, let me get this right. So Dario's Dodrio with its three heads had just a single bowl of food to eat from before it could continue, whereas the Ponyta that Ash is riding has to consume an entire trough of food before it can go on? That's just unfair. Team Rocket turn up and reveal that they were the ones that spooked Ponyta last night, and Misty says,
It was you who broke Lara's arm.
Wait, Lara's arm is broken? I mean, I know she had it in a sling, but like, girl, go to a hospital. Put cast on that thing. Misty Starmie gets completely incapacitated by a single sludge attack from James's wheezing. Misty Starmie's crap. Jessie tells Dario that now's his chance, but I don't get why she gives away that they're working together. Like at this point, Team Rocket turning up to try and steal Pikachu and Ponyta looks to all the other characters like a coincidence. Whereas now that Ash and Misty know that Dario hired Team Rocket to influence the race in his favor, they can just go to the people organizing the race and get him an instant disqualification. Misty tells Ash to get away and try and win the race because she'll handle Team Rocket, but Ponyta just stands its ground and dispatches Team Rocket all by itself, thus proving even more that Misty Starmie is completely bloody useless. The video screen the crowd have been watching the race on comes back on as though it's returning from technical difficulties, even though the reason they couldn't see the race before is because of the thick black clouds of smoke that Team Rocket had created. Make your mind up, lads. Direct quote from the announcer.
Who's that? A giant burning flame!
Maybe it's the only fire-type Pokemon in the race? During the final straight run to the finish line, Dario tells Dodrio to attack Ponyta, clearly in view of all of the cameras and all of the spectators. Is that Is that allowed? Also, if you watch closely enough, Ponyta starts reacting before it's even been pecked. Pussy. Ponyta starts to fall back a little bit, but then begins evolving, glowing whilst it does so. But why is Ash glowing? He's not evolving. Oh boy, Ponyta evolved into Rapidash, and somehow its reins still fit, even though its face has grown, so surely it would be really restricted or the reins would snap. I don't get it. How did this situation come about? How did this guy, kicked into the atmosphere by Rapidash just now, manage to subdue and hang 2 fully grown people and a big-ass cat from a tree? Dario's a fucking Chad, lads. In closing, this is an episode I always found really boring as a kid. And it's nice to know that in such a crazy, unpredictable year like 2020, it's still boring. So those are my WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 33, the Flame Pokémon-athon. Let me know your favorites and any that I missed down in the comments below. And of course, like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel like the beautiful people here do, pledge to my Patreon, patreon.com/AceTrainLiam. And to save 30% on G Fuel until the 17th of August, use code ACE. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.